Are you ready to be counted in, Gene?
I'm ready, Jeans.
Ready in 5, 4, 3, 2.
You love that.
Yeah! Hey, yeah. Where my mom's at? Where my mom's wearing thongs, hitting bongs at? Raising kids, cleaning shits, need a long nap. Where my mom's at?
Where My Mom's At podcast with Christina P.
Thank you for watching on YouTube and downloading Where My Mom's At. With me today, Jamie-Lynn Sigler.
Hi.
Now, do I call you Jamie-Lynn?
No,
or
call me Jamie.
Okay, I was.
We'll get to it. That was a decision my mom made, that was my stage name. We'll get to that.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Did she feel that the 3 name was more powerful than a...
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounded more professional than
God
just
damn
Jamie
it.
Sigler.
Well, she's
from
right,
Long Island.
because it's
You know?
Jamie-Lynn Sigler.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that too.
And I was into theater as a young age, so it was like more like a theatrical name.
God,
too.
she was smart. I always wish that my mother, because my mom was a stage mom too, and pushed me into showbiz at 4.
Really?
And I really wish Pajitsky had been dropped for something a little more Cohen. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Like,
no, I'm with you.
Do you know that, like, Whoopi Goldberg, that is not her God-given.
No, no.
And who thinks
Do
of...
we know what her real one was?
I'm sure it's like Janet something.
Yeah.
And she said, she's like, look, I wanted a showbizy name. Karen Elaine Johnson is her real fucking name.
That if you gave me a list of like 100 names, I would have been like, nope, not that one.
But can you imagine, like, you go from Karen Johnson to, and you're like, it's Whoopi
Goldberg. Hey, she's a creative type. She came up with that name. Good for her.
I know, and here I am, like, I don't know.
I remember my
Pete?
mom one point being like, maybe we should call you Jamie Jordan.
Jamie.
Thank God someone put the stop to that one.
And the award goes to Jamie Jordan.
Yeah. No.
It's like it's not as pretty.
No, I always wanted my mom's last name, which is Lopez.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you're
I could have been a
Latin.
J-Lo. Yeah, I'm half Cuban.
So okay, so let's just, for those of you who don't know who she is, hello, have you ever watched The Sopranos? Best show ever. I've watched the entire series multiple times. If you want to hear, we're not going to go too much into your life on The Sopranos, because we did that on your mom's house.
We did.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
And Rob Eiler joined, who played AJ, who played Meadow. And so we're go see that interview if you want to hear about the James Gandolfini stuff and all that. So you've been a child star. I mean, we watched you grow up on TV.
I guess kind of. I mean, I started, doing like dance class with my friends when I was little, and then fell into musical theater around the age of 10. And Long Island is a great place to be interested in that, because there's so many community theaters and programs like that they have to offer. So it was easy for me to kind of, get my feet wet and figure out if it was something I really liked. And my mom was very supportive of it also, because my 2 older brothers were like 5 and 8 years older. So
so you were kind of...
She was able to give me the time. And,
that's great. So were you like an oopsie baby?
No, I was, my mom had told me that there was some persuading to my dad to go for the third. And
The girl.
Finally,
She wanted the girl.
Exactly.
So you grew up on Long Island, and you're an actor. And what's home life like for you? I can't imagine totally healthy if your mom's a stage mom.
She wasn't a stage mom. I mean,
is she dead or is she alive?
She's alive. She's actually here.
Shut the front door.
She just came to visit. Well, not like
Oh, I
here
thought you meant
in
my
the
lobby.
studio.
I was like, I'm like, that's
She's
a
home
little
with my child.
codependent.
No, she actually just flew in from New York.
Oh, cool.
To come visit us.
Good.
But we've had her COVID tested. She's been here a couple of days.
Thank God.
So it was, it was good. It was healthy. We didn't need for anything. My dad worked hard. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. My Cuban grandmother lived with us most of our life.
That's
and
nice.
so, it was very close family. But, my mom, I'm learning more and more as an adult, like understanding and being more forgiving of certain ways that she parented, because she grew up in a lot of trauma. She came to the U.S. as a political refugee.
Shut the front. Lopez.
Yes.
From Cuba?
From Cuba. And like came by herself and was,
By herself?
Yeah.
At what age?
Through the Catholic Church at 12. And then my grandmother was able to somehow make it over a year and a half later, and they were dirt poor and, working many, many jobs, and it was a lot of trauma.
That's what they used to do to kids, is they would be like, you get on this boat
Yes.
And then you land somewhere in New York.
Yeah.
And we'll pin a letter on a post one day. 100%. And that's how you'll find your family.
Exactly.
You're like, oh my God.
I've been slowly getting the story from her and piecing it together because I just feel like it's
she won't
needs
tell
to be
you,
told.
right? Like,
she's been very hard.
Yeah.
It's like they're afraid or ashamed. It's a whole culture thing. But she had a heavy, severe Latin temper. And so, instinct when disciplining was physical.
Sure.
Like a lot of that. And what I found is like, I think you just assume it's normal and that happens to everybody because it's your childhood and you don't know any different.
Yeah.
But when you become a parent and you start, and your immediate instinct is to do what was done to you, and you stop yourself and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
No, I remember that I didn't like that.
That sucks.
So I don't want to do that to my kid.
Yes.
I feel like in parenting in general, like that's the one thing I know. It's like I'm just trying to be a better version of my parents.
Well, I feel like you just wrote my life story. I feel like you're like the Latin side. I'm Eastern Bloc. My parents escaped from Hungary and the trauma, the generational trauma, and like, yeah, they hit me too, but you don't see it that way. It's funny because Dr. Drew, we do a show together too. And I don't know if you've ever watched Celebrity Rehab back in the day, but
I've for sure seen a couple of episodes.
Yeah,
it's been a minute.
It's so good because he'd interview these people who were such drug addicts. And he's like, so did you ever get hit growing up? And they're like, no. I mean, one time, like my mom got a log and like, beat the shit out of me. And you're like, that's what it's like. You don't think it's weird. Mm-hmm. But you know what's interesting though? Because I was hit with like hair brushes.
Oh,
and, yeah.
Oh, anything that they could grab that was, you could move and throw. That was light enough.
Yeah. Or the fakanal in Hungarian is the fakanal, the wooden spoon. But I don't have the urge to hit my kids is the weird thing. I like to hit a 2-year-old.
Oh, no.
You kind of are like, I can see why people do it.
Sure.
But the urge to hit my little kids that are like 3 feet tall.
I know.
How fucked up are you?
It's so fucked up. But who knows what they dealt with? Yeah. My big thing in therapy is like whenever I'm starting to feel something, he's like, is this yours or your mother's?
Yes.
Because you start carrying like their shit,
Yeah.
So I think that like I've become closer with my mom since becoming a mom. Yeah. Because a lot of the times I'm like, oh, I get it. Yeah. Or, oh, wow, I understand where you were at. It deepened our bond, and I feel like I've had a lot more forgiveness for her than stuff that I didn't even know maybe I was holding resentment over.
For sure.
And you feel weird because it's still like your mom, and they still did everything for you, but they still also did this other stuff to you. So it was, I know. It's confusing for a while.
So confusing. So I didn't talk to my mom 8 years before she passed away. Oh. And so talk about conflicted grieving.
Yes.
When she died, I was like, I'm kind of stoked that you're not here anymore because you fucking tortured me. But I'm also sad because you're a mom. You were my mom. And how do I reconcile? So for me, like, I guess I started this show because I want to know how other people navigate motherhood because I think there's so many unspoken things of like motherhood is suffering. Like it starts when you're trying to get pregnant, the suffering, and then you give birth and there's more suffering, and then but you see the face and you fall in love, and then it's like sublime suffering.
100%.
And it's so conflicting because I have a hard time like
you're like stoked to be a martyr. You know what I mean?
I know. And it's like I love you, but I want to go away right now, and I don't feel that way for anybody else in my life.
Oh, so well said.
So like
it's exactly what it is.
Right.
Yes. So when I had our first son, who was an oopsie, my husband was only 23 at the time. I was 31. We were only dating 9 months. It was like,
oh wow, so you were in a relationship.
I think I told you the story, right? We took Ambien.
No.
Yeah. And role played and by accident got pregnant.
What? What was the role?
I used to have this, like, not addiction to Ambien, but I loved it to the point where I had an alter ego. My friends called Jambian because I would, like, call people. That's a whole other show. I'll save that for your mom's house when I come back.
Wait, so you take Ambien and then call people?
Well, no, yeah. Well, if you're with someone, you have sex. But if you're not, then yeah, you call people. Or like I would like post on people's Facebook walls. I would like call people and play my ukulele that I don't even play well at all. And, like sing for them. It was so weird.
Yeah, I like to drink and wear wigs.
Oh,
that's what I did in the choir.
Fun.
Yeah, and then we'd F with the wigs. That was fun. Yeah, yeah. But anyway, get back to you.
Well, that's how my first son came.
Ambien
from Jambian.
Jambian.
Anyway, and my husband was playing minor league baseball at the time. I came to New York, to the East Coast. He was playing in the East Coast, and like would live with my family, and then go be with him when he was at home. And we were staying with host families. It was like I was leaving my home in LA that I worked really hard for to buy, and this wonderful life, and all of a sudden I had this young baby, this young partner, like in this whole other world, and on top of it I'm dealing with being a brand new mom, not sleeping, postpartum stuff.
Oh my God.
And I didn't talk about it with anyone. I just assumed I was a bad mom because I was having all these feelings like, I fucking hate this.
Yes.
This is so hard. I don't like this. I love this baby and like, I don't want anything to happen to it, but like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
And I didn't say it to anybody because I was so embarrassed that I felt that way.
Of course.
And
well, don't you find that the culture propagates this baby bliss thing?
Yes,
like you'll see every time a Kardashian gets knocked up, it's like baby bliss. This is the best time, and you're just love every minute of it because it goes so fast. And I'm like, can you grow faster, please?
Oh,
because
please! I was like, when do we sit up? When can I like leave you for a second and you can entertain yourself?
Yeah, there's shame.
Stuff.
There's a lot of shame to like. I'm supposed to love every minute of it. That's what I see on Instagram, and these women who are like having time to curl their hair into tendrils. And, why don't I love every minute of this?
100%.
Nobody fucking tells you that. So you feel like a dick.
And I wouldn't hire help.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was like, I'm not working. I'm not going to fucking pay somebody because I also didn't want anyone else with my kid, even though I didn't want to be with my kid 24/7. I didn't want anyone else taking care of him. And for sure, he must have somehow been feeling all of this shit. And I'm sure he'll deal with it in therapy one day.
Sure.
Although him and I are like thick as thieves. Like he can read me like nobody's business, like my mood, anything.
How old is he?
He's about to be 7.
Oh.
He looks exactly like me too. Yeah. It's freaky.
Yeah.
My other one looks like if you took like a sledgehammer to my husband, and he's just like a dense little version of him. So it looks nothing like me. Anyway, so after a couple of years, like these 2, 3, I started to get my stride. It took that long because I started to go back to work a little bit. I got a part-time nanny. He started preschool. I started to feel the reins loosen a little bit. And I think my hormones maybe leveled out a little bit, all those different things that I started to enjoy it again. But when I got pregnant the second time,
was that when Jambian, or was that
No, that was on purpose. That was I want another. I was sober.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then how far did you space them?
4.5 years apart.
Oh, wow. So you got out of the trenches.
Yes.
And then you're like, let's go back for seconds.
Yes. Forgot everything. Forgot how hard it was. And be like, yeah, we got this. And when I had the second, I remember everyone saying like, oh, your heart just grows.
Yeah.
I felt like my heart broke in two. Yeah. Because I was like, I don't know how to be a mom to both of you.
Yeah.
I don't know how to give you both like all of me.
Yeah.
And then my husband, who is like, hi, remember me? And I'm like, I got nothing for you.
Yeah.
You need to take a back seat for a couple of months.
Yeah.
Check in with me and make sure I'm alive. But other than that, like, I got nothing.
Same, dry. The well is dry.
The well was
your
so
body's
dry.
broken, and you're
Completely.
just like, fuck, everybody fuck off.
Oh.
Mom needs a month alone to recover.
But thank God though, during the second time around, I had one girlfriend who was like distant enough. We had enough mutual friends that we could trust each other, but we weren't that close, that I started divulging some kind of dark stuff, and like how I was feeling, and I wasn't happy, or anything from even just being like I was constipated to like, I don't want to see my husband's dick like ever again to like, all this kind of stuff. And she was like, yeah, girl, me too. And I was like, oh, other women feel this way? I'm not a shitty mom, like a lot. And she's like, yes. And she kind of became this person that I would confide in. And it felt so good to be able to have a partner to talk to about this, that's when we started our podcast, Mama Said, because we're like, there's got to be, we need to debunk, like you're saying, like this whole like perfect mom bliss. Like we need to have an honest conversation that it goes without saying that we love our kids more than anything and would do anything for them. Of course. But we are allowed to complain about shit, and we're allowed to like commiserate, and we're allowed to celebrate, and we're allowed, and we also have no idea what we're doing. Yeah. And we're just doing the best we can, and that's enough to pat yourself on the back for.
It really is. And I think you're 100% right. Those dark thoughts, because I didn't know that moms had them, because I had never seen it. Like my mom was such a nutter that I don't really count her as like a good template. So I was inventing a template of what a mother was, and I only had television, oddly, and like Instagram, and maybe a few moms here and there who I thought were awesome. But I had idealized those women as well. Like my best friend Shauna, her mom was rad. Carol was American and had tuna casserole in her fridge. And I was like, what the fuck is tuna casserole? Like we're immigrant. Like we didn't have anything normal. Yeah. And you guys have like pudding in the individual, and you guys had like good snacks. Like my mother would never. So, but that was idealized.
Oh,
like,
the good snack moms.
Good snack mom. Fuck off.
A good snack mom.
I'm a way good snack mom.
Right?
Way good. Because I know what it is.
I've got fucking gummies and goldfish and all that shit.
I got it all too, homie. Yeah.
Yeah.
But but I had idealized Carol, I'm guessing, because I don't know what her internal life was and what template she grew up on. She grew up in an era where women just, had dinner on the table, and that was their job. And don't complain about your job. But the world is a-changing.
Mm-hmm. My mom was a very much like don't tell anyone anything is ever wrong. Everything is perfect. Everything is good. You're fine. You're always fine, because they'll fire you. They'll get rid of you. They won't like you.
Oh, in acting especially.
Yes. And also every girl was jealous of me.
Of course.
The only person I can trust in the world was my mother, which I'm still dealing with. But it was her, that's what she dealt with.
She was projecting that.
Her father had a whole other family in Cuba at the same time as her. She's had, like I said, so much fucking trauma. So she was taught in her life from her experiences not to trust anyone, and it was just her and her mother. So she was trying to replicate that with me,
really enmeshed and really
yes. And like I said, now I understand it and I have forgiveness for it, but it was so confusing for me as a young girl. And now, like, she's horrified with how I'm just like an open book about everything in my life, because I'm like, what do I have to be fucking ashamed about? Like, I want to connect with people. I want to feel like this is okay. And in turn, you make other people feel like it's okay. And I try to talk to her about it. She's 72. I just don't think I'm going to ever really get through. I wish I could to her. No. So, because I feel like she could be so much happier.
Yeah, but that generation, 72, that's what we were talking about on Your Mom's House, is like these people that are like, I'm polypansexual and demisexual and I identify as Zimzerze, and I need to tell my 78-year-old mom at Thanksgiving dinner what makes my dick hard. Like, why do you have to tell them? They're not gonna change.
No.
They're not going to accept it. Lie to your parents.
Yes.
They don't have much longer to live. No. Your mom's probably not gonna be here. That, no offense, but like,
although my grandmother's 99 and a half.
Oh no.
Yes. Nothing's getting me much. Living in New York City, she's like, fuck COVID. I'm fine.
No. It's that immigrant cockroach DNA. That's what
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Because she drinks a coffee with like so much sugar, the spoon stands up every morning, like tons of wine, whatever. But I found like I have instincts. So my mom was always like, if I ever left an audition or anything, a class, whatever, she'd always say like, were you the best?
Oh no.
What did they say?
Oh no.
How was everybody else? And I thought that was normal mom talk too. And I would, and it's stuff I deal with now where I'm like, if I don't get intense validation, I assumed I failed.
Me too. Yeah. I did it for a long time.
My son, he's super athletically gifted. And I found one time when he was leaving his practice, my instinct, like with his new team, was to be like, was the coach so impressed with how awesome your swing was? Right. And I stopped myself and I was like, did you have fun? He's like, yeah, I had fun. I'm like, okay, good. I'm like, that's when I want to make sure it matters because that's what I'm trying to make matter to me right now.
That's
as opposed
true.
to the other stuff.
That's true. And it's so hard when you're working from such a deficit, because it sounds like your mom and my mom would have been BFFs.
Oh, for sure.
If they weren't competing with each other. Because I think my mom would have been resentful and jealous of your mom's beauty or whatever it is too. So, but I always do that too, where I over calibrate. So what I work on is perfectionism in how I parent. And like, I'm very unforgiving to myself. If I feel like I lost my temper too much, then I will flog myself because I know what it felt like to have temper lost on me and how much I fucking hated it. So I'm always like trying to be present with them, not always be on the phone. I'm like doing this checklist in my head. Like, did we read enough today? Did they brush their teeth? Are they doing enough activities? And then I'm exhausted. And then I'm fucking exhausted because you're inventing it as you go along, and you're just hoping that that's what it is to raise a person. Because I feel like I had to rebuild who I was in therapy so much because Tom tested me for autism. We were watching Love on the Spectrum.
Someone just told me yesterday I have to watch it.
It's so good.
Is it good?
And like they speak their minds, autistic people, which I love. And he's like, I think you're autistic. It's a joke. But it's not that. It's that I had a hard time recognizing feelings because I didn't have any growing up because they were pushed down in me so much. And then, ladies, you know the secret to a good marriage is milking your bear. You gotta milk him so that he's empty of his man poison so that you can get him to do chores around the house. That's why I use AdamandEve.com. It's my secret weapon. I get all kinds of spicy stuff from there to keep it interesting and keep things moving in my house. Cock rings. Love their cock rings. Why not try one? What are we doing right now? We're not doing as much as we used to. So there's all that free time. And definitely try AdamandEve.com. You get 50% off with code WMMA. You'll get 10 free boredom-busting gifts, including 6 spicy movies, a 3-piece bonus kit, and best of all, free shipping delivered discreetly right to your door. I know you're like, I don't want to order this stuff. What if it all shows up and my neighbors know I'm a degenerate? Don't worry about it. It's so discreet. They don't even say where it's from. Okay, go to AdamandEve.com and use that offer code WMMA to get 50% off just about any item plus 10 free gifts. Use code WMMA at checkout. There are many ways to find out your family history. Whichever way you choose, tracing your family generations back with a family tree or uncovering your ethnicity with AncestryDNA, it's easy to get started with Ancestry. An AncestryDNA test tells you where your ancestors are from, and Ancestry's billions of records and millions of family trees let you discover their personal stories. Isn't that cool? You can find out if you have a famous relative or what your relatives did for a living and maybe what you might be good at too, because it's all in that DNA. Because after all, the story of your family is the story of you. AncestryDNA can reveal ethnic origins and provide historical details that bring unique family stories to life. It doesn't just tell you which countries you're from, but also can pinpoint the specific regions within them, giving you insightful geographic detail about history. How cool is that? Start exploring your family story today. Head to my URL at ancestry.com/WMMA to get your Ancestry DNA kit and start your free trial. That's ancestry.com/WMMA. Anyways, I'm exhausted all the time, but I think it's my doing.
Same. I'm so tired. I remember I looked at my husband like in the middle of like the quarantine. And I was like, am I going to be tired forever? Is this it? Is this just like this? Do I have to like, this is how I accept it? Like, I'm never going to feel rested. Because if we go away for 2 days and you sleep in a little bit, I'm like, you can't help but think and worry about them.
I know. It doesn't do anything.
Nothing.
I can do one night away in a hotel, maybe, Tom and I. But then I'm already like, let's go home. It's 9 a.m. I can't.
Also, too, I'm like, nobody keeps my house as clean as I do. I don't want to deal with the fucking mess. It's easier if I'm just there.
Oh, you clean. You're good.
Yeah, I found that I'm like a little OCD with just like as soon as they're done with a toy, I put it away.
Oh, you're so
like
good.
I'm not a mom that like there's 100 toys are out.
That's me. Yeah.
I wish I could be you.
Such a slob.
Why can't I just chill? But now my kids are like it though. When they are done with it, they put it away before they take something out. So I guess it's worked out a little bit in my favor. But no, I wish I could chill more.
And you have boys, and I think it's important to teach them how to cook and clean.
Yeah.
And do their fucking laundry so they don't end up marrying women and then they're like, I don't know how to do anything. Oh, there's boy mom shirts, by the way. I'm selling these.
Oh, cute. I love one.
I'm going to send you one. Yeah.
Yes.
Boy mom.
Awesome.
And it's got like snakes on there and dirt and anarchy and shit because my house is all these things. There's snails right now just everywhere because
my kids are terrified of bugs.
Oh, really?
Terrified.
That's so
They're not
lucky.
boys like that.
No.
Oh. Although my son, I will send you a video one time. He has insane accuracy. If there's a fly on a window, he can take his toy basketball and nail it.
Wow.
Every time.
Well,
He's like Mr. Miyagi. You know what I mean?
Well,
like
you got that DNA though, because your
his
father-in-law's
grandpa,
Lenny Dykstra.
I know.
So no shit, right? How cool is that to watch your kid and you're like, well, that's genetic.
For sure. But he has no idea, like that there is a Lenny Dykstra in the world.
No,
I mean, he will one day, but yeah.
Yeah, it's bananas.
You want to hear something weird though? He's very into like the fact that he can use like the microphone part on his iPad to like look up stuff on Google. Like he can
that's cool.
because he can't spell it yet, so he can say it. So he's always like Bo Dykstra.
Aww.
And it brought up pictures of Lenny. And he's like, who's this guy?
You're like, wait until you find out, bro. He's a lot.
Name.
He's a lot. He's an interesting character. No shit.
He is.
It's funny because Lenny Dykstra reminds me of my dad, actually.
Really?
I think that's why I like him at least on Howard Stern. He calls in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know that chaos. That's my dad. That's a lot of chaos.
Well, I think I told you when Bo was first born, Lenny was sober and like just out of jail, and he would come over and throw him baseball and play with him, and so like I always, even though we don't have any contact with him, like I know there's a good side in him.
Of course.
You know?
Well, of course. And same with my dad, too, like, and my mom. They're not all bad, especially when you know them as people. They're just trouble, and they came from so much drama. Now, your dad, where was he from?
My dad grew up in Queens, Brooklyn, Jew, immigrant parents as well.
Nadav is Jewish, too.
What's that? Oh,
Nadav.
Yeah, I knew he was a tribe.
So you're Cuban Jew.
Cuban Jew.
Whoa.
Yeah. But it's, my dad, his parents, my grandmother was from Greece. His dad was from Romania. They were like super racist.
Yeah.
Like,
it's the best.
Especially like to my mom, like, but they would like talk about like Spix and this and that. And, forget that my mom was like Cuban. But my mom had to convert to Judaism when she married my dad. And so it was hard for me because I really wanted to connect to my Cuban and Hispanic culture, but it was very much like, no, you are going to live the little Jewish girl Long Island life. So it wasn't till later in my life that I'm able to like really like dive into that and connect to that side of me.
Yeah, how funny. And your character on The Sopranos is completely not.
Everyone just assumes I'm Italian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess that Long Islandness is what paid off. And
my accent's 100% what got me the job.
I love it. I love it, man. What was I just going to ask you? Sorry, my kid.
I probably cut you off.
My kids woke me up at 5 a.m.
From the earthquake?
Yeah, I woke up at the earthquake, and then and then my baby, my 2-year-old, is now waking up at the crack of dawn. You know when they go through that phase where they're just so excited to be alive?
Yes.
And you're like, can't you just be excited at like 7? Yeah. Just fucking 7.
Can you believe that 7 is like sleeping in right now?
I know. And I was never a
7 is like
person.
late.
I know.
I'm like, when I look over and it's 7 and everyone's still sleeping, I'm like, fuck yeah.
I know.
Score.
It's the best. So you also have, your second baby came and you said that it was like, I agree too. I feel guilty with the second one because I had so much time to give the first.
Right.
And all my neuroticism on the first and all my, you feel like you give so much to the first one. And when the second one comes around, your heart is like divided. I felt guilty because I wasn't as connected to the second one. I had pretty bad postpartum on the second one, like even worse, that I finally got on Lexapro. I didn't take drugs on the first one. I should have.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know about postpartum depression really. And like people are like, yeah, but didn't didn't you Google stuff? And I was like, yeah, but the symptoms were like depression, anxiety. I'm like, bitch, I've been done depressed and anxious my whole fucking life. Like, this is not unique to my personality.
Right.
So, yeah, second one. So how did it affect you, your second?
Well, I had a nanny with my second one, which I didn't have with my first. And that was almost the harder part for me, was like, I would give the baby to the nanny so I could be with Bo after school. But then I was like, didn't like hearing the baby with the nanny. I always felt like I wanted to be wherever I wasn't.
Yeah.
Including out of the house.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And the lack of sleep, my second baby did not sleep at all until I sleep trained him at like 5 months. Like, I'm telling you, like 20-minute pops.
Oh
and
my
it was,
God.
I mean, I would go in the bed and be like, what the fuck? Like over his crib being like, fucking go to sleep.
Yep.
Like dark moments where you're just like, and my husband, I mean, he had to go to work. So he would sleep in the guest room because he couldn't be woken up all night, you know, and I didn't have anywhere to go. I was just home all day. And you kind of, you're like the backbone of the house, and you're needed, but like you also are the one that is sacrificed because you don't have anywhere to go.
100%.
And I think that's what was like really tearing me apart. And when the baby was maybe about 4.5 months, my husband was like, it was coming up to my birthday. My husband's like, what do you want for your birthday? I was like, to be alone for 24 hours. He's like, oh, well, I booked this thing for you and your girlfriends. I was like, cancel it. I want to be alone. I
know.
I want to sit in a bed and watch Bravo for 24
hours.
Yes,
girl. Yes. I don't want to. At one point this quarantine, I was like, I think I'm going to change my name to Daddy because nobody ever fucking asks for him. It's just mommy. I'm like, Dad's got arms too, bitch. Go ask him to do some shit.
I know.
And would you say that you're the backbone of the house? I agree. And I feel like I've tried this bit on stage. It just doesn't work yet, that we are the centers of the fucking home. And maybe that sounds retro to say, because I think people are like, yeah, but men are good moms too. I'm like, no, they're not. It's not the same. I'm sorry. It's not the fucking same because they're not as attached. They're not as invested. Let me give you a little example. Juju, the 2-year-old, was screaming at 5. No, not screaming. Sorry, I should rephrase that. Like just playfully in his crib at 5:30. He's sleep trained as well.
Yeah.
Woke up at 5:30. He goes, Dada, 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 Dada. And he's repeating Dada, Dada, Dada. Now, what do you think my husband did? Turned off the monitor. Rolled over.
Turned it off?
Went right back to sleep.
Oh my God. How does he do that?
Fucking exactly. How do they do that? They're sociopaths.
I'd be like, oh my God, you woke up thinking about me.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got to go in there.
Yes.
Because whenever I hear, Mama, I guess he'll do it too. I'm like, I guess I'm going to go. Yeah. What's up, baby? Like, you need me. Like, he is the complete opposite.
Crazy.
Now, that's not to say that sometimes he is a great dad.
No.
He's a great dad. But that's basically the difference in wiring of, I think, my husband and I, of like, I feel that primal need. If I hear Mama, I will fucking walk on hot coals and go find out what's up with that baby.
100%.
Like,
100. My husband, whenever I've gone out of town for work or anything, he'll set an alarm for when he thinks the baby's gonna wake up.
Oh wow!
And I'm like, I'm like barely sleeping all night because I'm just waiting for him to make a noise or waiting for somebody to need me.
I know. Even now.
Yeah.
How old is your baby?
He's 2.5.
And does he still have sleeping issues? Like,
no.
Does he not?
Oh,
okay.
He's a fucking champ now.
Thank God.
But he'll actually last weekend. I woke up at 7. I saw he was like, because he sits in his crib and he just kind of like stares and waits for somebody to get him.
Yeah, that's right.
And I like rolled over and I'm like, oh, I need a couple more minutes. I woke up. It was 8:30.
Whoa.
And he was still sitting there.
Oh.
Waiting. Waiting for somebody. Rob thinks it's like the craziest thing in the world. Yeah. He does it when I put him to bed too. I'll put him in his crib and he'll be like, bye. Because that's his thing. Bye. And then I close the door and he'll sit for like 30 minutes just.
Wow.
And I feel like he doesn't sit down when he's out of his crib. Like my kid won't watch a fucking movie, a TV show. I will do anything for my kids to watch a TV.
That's the best one they do.
Not even an iPad. He doesn't want anything. Just videos of himself every once in a while on my phone.
And they love themselves.
They love themselves.
Oh, hold on. Let me interrupt before. So I'm going to have, in 5 minutes, Dr. Hockman's going to call in. She's a pediatrician.
Okay.
And she's going to give us an update about COVID and whether or not to send our kids back to school. And there's also that video circulating of those doctors. I don't know if you've seen this. Apparently it's released from the Tea Party, or they're affiliated somehow. And these doctors are like, hydroxychloroquine works with zinc and da-da-da. And she's going to kind of give us a picture of COVID. I like to get a bit. But sorry, yes, the staring off into space. Yeah, my second is able to do that as well. I think that's really healthy, though.
So healthy that they can sit in like the pitch black with their own thoughts and just like...
It's important. My shrink says that they need to process what happened.
All day,
you
right?
You must be able to, yeah.
Probably like, that crazy bitch. Can't wait to talk about her in therapy one day.
I know.
And ask Harper on the playground tomorrow what her mom does.
Oh, God, I know. So are you, okay. So 8:30 sleeping in. Wow. I don't think I've had that in a long time.
That was a rarity. I felt terrible all day about it.
You did?
Oh,
I'm
like, I'm so sorry, buddy. He was like, hey, bagels.
How are you on the food stuff? Are you pretty clean eating with them?
So, I mean, I grew up on like Wonder White bread, peanut butter and jelly, Lucky Charms, Pop-Tarts. Like no one gave a fuck what I ate.
Yeah.
And it took me a long time to like learn how to eat like healthy foods and enjoy them. Yeah. So I make sure that they eat, like we do a lot of smoothies.
Oh, that's a great way to trick them into eating good
I mean,
stuff.
I threw a shit ton of spinach and then frozen cauliflower. They don't taste.
Oh, sweet.
And then cover with some apple juice and then fruit.
Boom.
So I do that almost every day with them. And the little one loves it because he likes to make it, like throw the shit in. He also loves to do dishes. It sounds like it's adorable, but it's very annoying.
Oh, really? Because he ruins everything.
No,
and
because then he
stuff.
pulls up his chair and like and I'm like, just come on, and he just has to do he's very OCD. My little one. Yeah. Like already almost diagnosed. Like he's like it has to be put in the drying rack the exact way he wants it, or he gets very mad.
Okay.
But the older one will eat any vegetable with ranch.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
That's the secret.
Dip it in ranch.
Yeah.
All good.
Linda Dove loves ranch.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Wingstop? Is that what you eat?
Wingstop has the best ranch in the game.
Better than Hidden Valley?
Oh, wow.
Oh, sweet Jamie.
Hidden Valley.
That's what we got going on. Yes, that's right. I'm like a mixed bag over here.
What about Gelson's salad bar? You ever tried their ranch?
No, I'm too into their thick, creamy balsamic vinaigrette. It's so good. Which, by the one day, I like looked at like the ingredients and the calories. I was like, oh, fuck. Well, that's why it tastes so good. But but they have milkshakes, they have candy. Like smart. I don't keep anything too precious.
Yeah, same.
Like pasta, whatever. But they're pretty good.
That's good.
I'm fine with how I feel good knowing that they have some level of nutrition.
Yeah, I think you're right. Because like growing up, I grew up, so my mom did cook, but it was like weird Hungarian shit, like breaded cow brains and, not Americans. Oh, Rob Eiler's texted me again. Aww. I told him I was seeing you today. But yeah, I grew up. I know, right? 9:04. That's crazy. When I lived with my dad, he was like single dad. So I lived off of canned spaghetti, the Chef Boyardee with the meatballs, like the neon ones. I love that shit, that orange.
Remember the microwavable, like the little ones? You just took the top off and it would burn your mouth for a spice. It was so good.
Yeah, I still have a weakness for Stouffer's pizza, that latchkey kid. Like that shit's hot too. Like when you bite into it, wrecks the roof of your mouth.
Wrecks it, but it's kind of good.
So good.
Yeah.
Macaroni and cheese. Now I'm white trash as they come. I love that.
That's all they ever want.
Same. That's all my kids want too.
All they want.
And I'm kind of fine with it because we both grew up on dog shit diets, and I think we're okay. Yeah, I think we've compensated now. We're okay now.
Agree.
Yeah. Well, I'm so happy you have dark thoughts too. There needs to be like because I didn't have any mom friends either.
That's huge.
It is really.
Yeah.
To be able to go like, I love my children so much and I can't wait to get out of the house right now. And I want to go away from them right now. What are you doing? And blah, blah, blah. So
I've never been a drinker.
Yeah.
But I smoked weed for the first time when I was 34. That's what I say. Being a mother is what like drove me to marijuana. And that's my that's my thing. Like every night. It's like, that's my unwind, like decompress.
Yes.
And
how much do you take? What do you do?
I don't like oils or edibles. I just take a hit
Old
of a
school
joint or
pot.
something. Yeah.
See, that's what I think I need to do because I've been drinking and then I exercise during the day, but then I'll drink like 2 glasses of wine a night and I'm like, why aren't I losing weight? Like,
oh, well, I that's when I do all my snacking though.
oh, fuck.
I mean, it's like one or the
You're
other.
super skinny. You look great.
Hey, well, you know what I fell into by accident is like intermittent fasting.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. This is the doctor.
Yes.
This is Dr. Hochman. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for calling in. I'm here with Jamie-Lynn Sigler, star of Sopranos.
Hi, Jamie-Lynn Sigler.
Hi, Dr.
Hi,
Hochman.
Christina.
Hi, my love.
Hi, how are you?
What are you, hold on, what are you looking at? Oh, sorry, Nadav's typing. Good. I'm so glad you called in. Thank you for taking time out of your practice. I thought it would be great for you to give us an update on COVID with children, whether or not we should send them back to school. And
Absolutely.
What's up with that crazy video circulating about the doctors telling us that it's fine? Hydroxychloroquine, zinc, and what is it? Restylane? Is that what Botox?
The filler?
The filler.
Okay, so many questions. So let me see if I should tackle this. We'll go through it one at a time and just let me know if I'm missing anything. Okay,
you're good.
Or if you have any other questions. All right, so first of all, I definitely think it's important to shed some light on some facts about kids, because I know a lot of parents are making important decisions and a lot of considerations about whether or not they can safely go back to school. So I think there's some really reasonable concerns out there. But first, I just want to point out some things as people are making that decision. One is that COVID is definitely affecting children less than the general population by far. There's like 2 to 4% of kids that are getting it in general, and then they're shown to be less likely to get seriously sick, and they're less likely to spread it. So there was a doctor, there's actually an article in the New England Journal that came out yesterday, this Dr. Mark Lipschitz, a Harvard doctor.
Lipschitz. That's a good show business name.
Great one.
That's true.
That's what I should have gone with.
Yeah.
And I think this is interesting, especially when we think about kids in the elementary school age, that kids that are under 10 are really especially less likely to get it, less likely to transmit it, and that is being shown in a lot of countries like South Korea, where really the spread is happening like adult to adult, adult to kid, and not as much really kid to adult.
Because I think that's the worry. I saw something on Instagram where it was like, I sent my kids back to school. They didn't get it, but they gave it to their parents. And now the kid's an orphan. Way to go. And I'm like, oh, no, that can't be right.
So the studies are showing that adults are probably passing it. There's some spread going on. But if a kid lives in a house with an adult that's a known positive, so like, let's say, mom or dad is known to have coronavirus and they live with their child. In America, we're seeing like 6% of the time that kid is actually getting it from their adult parent. And then they're not really spreading it. I mean, it's possible that they spread it to the adult, but it's really not, we're not seeing it very much. Like in Iceland, they can't find a single case where a kid passed it to an adult.
Damn.
So I know that it's not a guarantee, and it's not, of course it can happen. But it's definitely some good news is that especially the younger kids, they're saying 10 and younger, we're seeing they're not actually that susceptible to getting COVID. And so I like to think of the science behind it because it makes more sense to me, because so many other illnesses, kids are the vectors, like they are that petri dish of virus. So that explanation is that, and they showed this in Singapore in a study, that kids do not make this ACE2 receptor. I know this is really sciencey, but there's an ACE2 receptor that kids don't make the gene for, and that's where the COVID virus enters the body. So they're saying that kids don't really have a mechanism for the virus to actually get into the body, proliferate and then spread it. So
that's so great. That's such good news, because otherwise we'd all be in straitjackets right now if kids were really affected. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying send your kids to school, because at this point they're so depressed and everyone's so anxious.
And I feel like 10 and under, like they need it more than
Right. Well, okay. So I think every family has to make that decision for themselves. So I think, if you live in a house with your older grandparent, or you have somebody sicker in the home, but if you're if you're a family lucky enough to have health in the family, I definitely think, especially for the younger kids, to send them back. I'm seeing a lot of kids that are anxious. I know suicide rates have been up. I think also it's hard for parents. There's like 40 million kids in the United States that are pre-K to 8th grade. And so if we can't get those kids back to school, it's going to be hard for parents to get to work.
Yeah.
And they even say, it's a lot to think about. So I think, for parents to get back to work, for kids to get back, there's nothing like in-person learning. So, especially like kids that are, I have a pre-K and a second grader, and I have a hard time picturing them getting online, and they can't really even read yet. So trying to
that Zoom shit doesn't really work for a 4-year-old. They're not really engaged at all. Okay,
right.
So that's good. And then what about that video circulating? So there's a video going around with a bunch of doctors in white lab coats saying that those drugs work. This is a good treatment for COVID. We're good, guys. Stop.
Yeah,
so what's the deal?
So so there's two kinds of there's different types of studies that doctors talk about, and the gold standard or the best kind of study is what we call a randomized control trial. So that's where one group gets placebo, or they don't get the drug, like they'll get a fake drug, sugar, and the other group will get the actual drug, and they look at randomized control trials. So randomized control trials at this point, looking at hydroxychloroquine, have not been shown to have any benefit for COVID-19. There was observational studies, so that's like that woman was saying, in her own practice or in her own purview, she's seen a lot of people take that medication and get better, and that may be true, but those observational studies are not really. They're not quality studies. It's like
they're known as anecdotal in the business. Am I right? It's like I took apple cider vinegar and now my cold went away. Well, you don't know necessarily there's a correlation, is what you're saying.
Right. So while I appreciated her, she's quite passionate, and she hopefully her goal is just to get people better and on a good track. At this point, the NIH and the CDC and all the big universities, nobody is using hydroxychloroquine at this point as a medication. Now, sometimes we repeat studies later with different doses and different regimens, and we find they're helpful. But right now, the best medications shown to be helpful are remdesivir and dexamethasone in really sick patients, not in the day-to-day, mildly ill patients.
Dexamethasone, Jesus Christ.
But one thing I think is really interesting too is, the flu season happens every year, and we still send our kids to school. But the flu has been shown to be worse for kids, actually. They're saying like there's a third of the time a kid. So like last season, there was 166 deaths from the flu season for kids. And for COVID, there's been a third of those reported deaths. And most of those kids by far are kids that are really sick, that have really a lot of comorbidities, we call it. So anyways, just things to think about that that's the one silver lining in all this, as serious as it is, that kids are doing really well. So of course you just want to think about how to get schools safely opened, like make sure teachers are safe, that the schools aren't overcrowded, that everybody's happy. I'm saying a lot of things, right?
I like it. Well, I think if I may distill your message, it's that send your kids to school, hydroxychloroquine works, and Trump 2020. Is that what you're trying to say?
How did you know? How did you know?
I can tell. I know you're.
That's what I got.
You're a Trump guy, yeah. Okay.
You knew. So, anyways, and one last thing. Finland, Belgium, Austria, Taiwan, and Singapore have all opened safely. Because I know, and the one counter to that, because I know you brought that up last week, Nadav, is that Israel hasn't. Israel has seen some increase in cases. So we still have to be, make sure that there's safety measures to think about, because most schools that we're seeing so far are opening safely. But I know in Israel, the middle school kids did have an outbreak, not in the elementary school age, but in the middle school. So that
the middle school.
So Nadav was right about that one. Yeah. But the other schools so far have been doing fine.
All right. Did you hear that, Nadav?
I sure
You
did.
and your Israeli
Shout out to Nadav.
shit. Yeah.
Shout out to Dr. Hockman.
Shout out to Dr. Hockman. All right, my love. Thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate
My pleasure.
your brain, your wisdom. And
Anything else?
That's. Do you have any questions? Go
I
ahead.
kind of one.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
this
Sure.
has been the longest amount of time that my kids haven't been sick because I'm so used
So
to them
great.
being sick all the
Isn't that
time, you know,
great?
from
Yes.
being around school and stuff. But
Yes.
is this bad for their immune systems that they've not been like exposed to, especially my 2-year-old?
Right. That's a really good question. I think that it's been such a short amount of time, relatively speaking, that I think kids should be fine. But of course, you know, you don't want to keep them enclosed for too long. I think it's good for the immune system to get exposure, to get, you know, when you get exposure, you make antibodies that helps you fight infections that come up in the future, or, you know, viruses you're exposed to later. But I think it's been such a short amount of time, relatively speaking, that they'll be okay.
Okay.
It's been nice,
God.
right? Not having sick kids.
Dude,
Oh,
it's been the best.
it's
Like
usually
the best.
one of them is always sick.
everybody, I'm sick. I've noticed that I haven't been sick since February.
know.
It's a miracle.
Yeah.
God
It
damn
is
it.
the blessing in the skies.
Thank you. There she goes. Thank you.
All
I'm
right.
so glad you speak proper English. Okay.
Thank you.
I love you, Dr.
All right.
Hockman.
Okay,
Thank
love
you.
too. Okay, bye.
Bye. What a nice lady.
So nice.
She's the best. This episode is brought to you by Fracture. Fracture turns your digital images into beautiful glass prints. That's right, they print your photos directly on glass, transforming your memories into handcrafted, frameless prints. They sent me one of this image, Where My Mom's At, and it's so gorgeous and so special. I can see why you'd want to do this. If you have an image that is just so precious to your family, put it on glass. It's more unique than a framed photo. It feels like it's pretty timeless, and it's a special piece in your house. Fracture helps you focus on the moments that matter most by turning your favorite memories into beautiful glass prints. Glass prints also make unique gifts for your friends and family, and they're never going to forget it. Each print comes with a 100% happiness guarantee. If you don't love your print, Fracture will make it right. Fracture prints look incredible. You really need to see them to believe it. Upload your photo at fractureme.com/WMMA to print your photo on glass today. And we've got a special deal for my listeners. When you visit fractureme.com/WMMA and enter promo code WMMA, you'll get 20% off your order. That's fractureme.com/WMMA and enter promo code WMMA to save 20% off your fractured glass print. We thank Fracture for sponsoring this podcast. This episode of Where My Mom's At is supported by OxiClean White Revive, my go-to product for laundry whitening and stain removal. Have you ever tossed out a white shirt because of a stain you couldn't get out? Do you have white linens that have become dingy over time? OxiClean White Revive laundry whitener and stain remover can save items that you thought were ruined or headed for the trash. With 40% more whitening power than chlorine bleach per load and none of the negative effects, OxiClean White Revive works like magic. It maintains brilliant whites and revives dingy whites to keep them looking like new longer. It gently lifts away stains while brightening and restoring whites. It's safe on colors, and there's no risk of chlorine bleach spills or splatters or that harsh smell. Don't you hate that? I don't like the smell of bleach, but with OxiClean, it doesn't smell bleachy. You've got to try OxiClean White Revive laundry whitener and stain remover for yourself. To work your magic with OxiClean, go to oxyclean.com/tryme and order a free sample. That's oxyclean.com/TRYME for a free stain fighting sample while supplies last. OxiClean, work your magic.
Have your kids ever gotten hand, foot, mouth?
Yep. And giving it to the nanny.
Oh, they gave it to my husband.
That's so gross.
He was so sick for like 2.5 weeks. He couldn't go to work. Like when you WebMD pictures, his was worse.
No.
His entire hands and feet were
Google it.
peeling after. I'll tell you if anything. Look, one time he said he was up all night because it felt like burning, but then itching. Yeah, the second row that one, that was what his hands looked like.
That's the worst case scenario.
The worst.
Did you get it?
No.
Oh my God, thank God, neither did I.
And I was like the one rocking the baby. Is that a testicle?
That's a peener. Oh, it's on it.
Ooh,
It is a penis and a. How did that get brought up?
Sorry about that.
What the fuck are you
Crazy.
Googling?
Dick, foot, and mouth disease.
Dick, foot, and mouth. That is the best part, though, is like they sleep through the night, more or less, right now.
yes.
And I haven't been sick.
Yes.
Fuck.
I know.
But then again, I have crippling anxiety because the world's falling apart. So, like, I guess it's a trade-off, right?
I mean, there's always has to be balance, right? The yin and the yang of the world, of life. I don't know. My littlest one is back in preschool.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Great. And how's it going for you?
He fucking loves it. I mean, he can't wait to go. And the only, I would say, a third of the people have sent their kids back. So there's 5 kids in his class.
So it's
All the
fine.
teachers are masked. They take their temps every day. They test the teachers twice a week. Like, they're taking all the precautions they can. But I mean, I think about it, it's like we're okay, and we can follow, and we can stay at home, and we can do this and work from home or not work, and we're very lucky. But for the people that have families that have like 2 full-time jobs, and you're gonna have your kids, like, what are you gonna fucking do?
How are they gonna afford it? It's ridiculous.
Nope.
So before that break that we were talking about, you accidentally got into intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
So I drink a little coffee in the morning, and then I would like be so busy that I didn't eat until like noon when the baby went down for his midday
Sweet.
nap.
Yeah.
And then I'd eat something like healthy, like I'd try to have, a big salad, avocado, whatever. And then I'd cook dinner at night and have a healthy dinner. And then when I would smoke weed, I would have like all my fun snacks. And then that would be, and I kind of like fell into a rhythm, and the baby weight kind of like started to fall off, and it just
Great.
kind of, and I mean, my husband likes to say like, I'm not really doing intermittent fasting because my coffee has like terrible Nestle creamer in it,
Yeah.
because I like it to taste like dessert.
Yeah, of course.
Why am I going to drink coffee if
Of course.
it tastes terrible?
Coffee tastes like shit.
Yeah.
You have to
I want it to
camouflage
taste like cake. But I somehow found like a way to like maintain after the baby, I guess, or whatever.
That's
I don't know.
great. That's awesome.
It's like, it's so funny. That type of stuff like doesn't even matter to me.
What, being fat and stuff?
Well, yeah, like
know.
at all.
I know.
At all. Even in this business, like even when I work, like I don't know. I also think maybe it's like living with MS. I think what I appreciate about my body or what I look to my body for has changed so much that like all the vanity goes out the way. I mean, sure, do I like to like look good in a dress and stuff? Yeah, but like, when does that happen?
I know.
Very rarely.
Especially,
who gives a shit?
What are you going to do?
Yeah. So it's more like how I feel.
Yeah, that is more important. How you feel. I think I would feel better 20 pounds lighter, but that's different. The point is,
I understand that.
I'm still vain. So, but you have MS. You just mentioned that.
I do.
And that's got to be tough because I imagine you have your good days and your bad days.
Yeah, I think fortunately or not fortunately, the type of MS I have is what it is, and it's been stable for 9 years. So I don't get a break from what I have, but I don't wake up wondering the type of day I'm going to have, if that makes sense. So I know my limitations, but I have to plan around it, especially being a mom.
Yeah.
Like if I'm going to be alone with my 2-year-old and we're going to go to a park, it's got to be an enclosed one because I can't run.
Right.
And he could bolt.
Yeah.
So like it's about like the safety. You're like, I would love to be able to like take my kids on a hike or take them to the beach, but I can't do that type of stuff myself. So there's, or when I see a mom like running with her kid and throwing him, like I'll get bummed out that I can't do that with them. But my older son, like I said, he's like super sensitive to me and stuff, has never made me feel any less of a mom because of it. And in fact, he's like, I've said to him sometimes when I'm having like insecure moments, like, I'm sorry, mommy can't like run with you and play like all the sports all day and stuff that you want her to. And he's like, it's okay. You do Legos with me for a really long time and you color with me and like we can do sitting down stuff. And he's, and I'm like, yeah, I guess I do a lot of other stuff too. He makes me feel better about it, which is nice.
So funny.
Yeah.
Because I'm voluntarily lazy mom. Like I'll plunk down in my chair and I'll be like, guess what? I'm 44. You got an old ass mom. Here's the hose.
That's a good lesson to teach.
Yeah. That's
You can't
tough.
expect too much from people.
There's always limitations.
Everyone
I
has
guess
them.
You're like, oh, I wish I could be perfect in that way, or I think listen, judging by your personality, you seem very sweet and loving and open, and I feel like looking back, that's all you wanted as a kid, was to be seen and heard and appreciated for
I'm
who
not
you were.
perfect though. I lose my shit. I
course.
yell. The one thing I do that maybe I don't think my mom ever did was apologize.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'll be like, that was not cool of me.
Yeah,
and it happens, but it wasn't cool of me. But I'm sorry. But it's okay. And because I also think it's important. I had a friend that was never yelled at in her life. Like her parents, like literally, they never yelled at her, which was like crazy to me. So now if she ever gets in like a little tiff or anything, she freaks the fuck out with like friends or a husband. Like she cannot handle any conflict. So maybe
you need a little dysfunction. We were talking about this last week, I think, about crappy jobs. Like my dad made me work at his forklift shop when I was 14, like the summer of my 14th year, and I'm like, that was horrible. It was so fucking terrible. But then you're like, that's what makes you. Or those, you need the friction.
Yes,
you need the disapproval from your folks. You need to hear them yell at you a little bit, so you're like, oh, that was bad. I shouldn't do that. You can't be like.
You have to also see people be human.
Yeah,
like.
Yeah.
Because if you start to lose your shit, you'll feel like something's
wrong with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I've learned that lesson now.
So
the resilience.
We should yell more.
Yeah. Be like, what the fuck? Yeah. Like I do that now more, and I'm like, come on, man. Like that's how Tom and I always discipline. I see Alice and Julian doing something. Like, oh, come on. Like it's you need to hear your dad lose it.
For sure.
Your dad's got to be like, come on.
My 2-year-old, we very rarely lose it on him. But like when we do some, like a big thing my husband and I do, we're like, oh.
Yeah.
And sometimes he'll just look back and go, oh. Or when my husband will be like, Jack, no, that is not okay. And like he'll freeze because my husband doesn't raise his voice often. He'll be like, okay. Like, okay. And I'm like, you really got through to him there, babe. Nice. I think that worked.
Yeah.
Till he does it 10 minutes later.
I know. I wonder what it's gonna. Because Tom and I are sarcastic, and we, we're comedians. So I'm wondering what that's gonna look like in our kids.
No, your kids are gonna be witty and smart.
But I mean, are we? Because we'll be like, come on, dude. Oh, fuck. Like we're really kind of, we let it fly.
Oh,
so
I am not precious with language around my kids. I feel like it shows like passion. Yeah. As long as it's not directed at someone. Yeah. I think curse words are okay.
I think so too.
We can learn, all right, we can't say them at school, but like it's okay.
Yeah, because I grew up able to curse, and I got in trouble at school, and then I learned like, oh, I can't say fuck during bingo, like because I'll get in trouble. But
correct.
I just tell Ellis when he says fuck, I'm like, can't say that word till you're 16, bud. I just give him like a,
something to look forward to.
Oh, God.
He's like counting down the days.
All right, let's do some of these. I am dying to get to these. So, Rob, on your mom, no, he texted me later. He was like, so I have this thing where I've had these moments in my life since I've been getting better with therapy, where I notice things that I'm doing that aren't benefiting me. For instance, and I can change them really easily, like they're little. Yeah. Like I would get out of the shower for 43 years and I wouldn't thoroughly dry my body off. I would just like put the towel around me and then kind of pat, take off a towel and then angrily put on wet pants, like put on my pants and socks.
Like torture yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why are you punishing yourself?
Right. Exactly. And so I would have these little epiphanies as I got better, of like, oh, I don't have to torture myself. And another example is Tom and I, we used to have one phone charger in the house, and he and I would take turns with the phone charger. Until one day we were like, what? Wait, we can just buy two. Like, why? It's like $20 and you can be so much happier. So, if you want to think of one that, I don't know, do you have any? I know it's hard offhand. So while you're thinking, I'm going to read.
I'm going to think.
Oh, here's another one I just had recently. So I started drying myself off, and that's been really cool. And then I decided that I could use 2 towels. I could put one on my hair.
Yes. Oh, that's like a day at the spa. That's really going
Wow. There. Yeah. I know. Who am I?
Mine's putting lotion on.
Right.
Like that's like,
I've never
if
done
I
it.
had
I've never done that.
Try
like
it.
After a bath?
Every once in a while. It's so nice. You're like, oh, this is what skin's supposed to feel like. Nothing's falling off anymore.
Yes, by my friend Sarah Tiana. She's a comedian. And we toured together, and she's always lotioning and perfuming. And she's like, you don't do that, do you? She's like, look at your legs. They're like scales. She's like, you're not even a woman, Christina. I'm like,
my leg hair gets to a certain length.
well, you're Greek. You're Latin.
Oh, forget about it.
And what was your other
Cuban,
one?
Greek, Romanian.
And Romanian. You're like the trifecta of dark hair.
Oh,
Yeah.
completely. But I have friends that shave every day in the shower.
Oh,
Like,
I
who
shave.
has the time?
Not every day. Not every day. Oh, here's a question too. Have you ever pulled a long hair, a head hair, out of your beehole?
Out of my
Your butthole.
that after I washed it?
So like, let's
Or
say
an
you're in
actual butt hair?
no, an actual. I don't know. I think it's a head hair that gets stuck in your.
Yes. Of course.
Of course. And doesn't it kind of
Because
feel
when
good?
you wash, it's like a floss. It's like, yes, it's a very strange sensation.
Yeah.
That's not terrible.
It's not terrible. You're kind of
Correct.
like.
I know
but
exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, and it happens once every decade, and you're like, whoa,
Well,
yeah.
I just cut literally 2 feet off my
Yes,
hair.
I saw that.
And so I had some long hairs to work with. So
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
I think we're eating those hairs, and then they get in the digestive tract, and
Oh.
then you're cleaning your beehole. And
Really?
then, yeah,
Because
because
we're eating them?
you think it's the washing.
I think it's when you're washing it
Yeah.
and it falls down your back with the shower water and sometimes just gets,
it's a little
makes
thing.
a little home in there for a while.
It's so fun. So I asked people to do the Pajitsky. Oh, we have voicemails for hair and beeholes. Let's hear what the audience has to say.
Hey, Mommy. This is Isaac up in Seattle. Longtime fan, first-time caller. Wanted to do a quick check on those butthole hairs. As a cis, binary, 25-year-old white male, my wife and I have short hair. I have been in the shower and pulled one of those long, stringy hairs right out of that butt mouth. And I will say, Mommy, that wasn't my hair. And I pray to God every day that wasn't a stranger's hair and it was my wife's hair. Talked to some coworkers that are also men. Happened to them too.
Wow.
Thanks a lot, Jeans. And there's no way that butt mouth is breathing in hair.
So there's another theory about now. There was a theory that your anus, as you fart in your underwear, it kind of puckers and then would scoop up the hair into your anus.
Oh.
And I don't think that's a fully formed theory. I'm not into that at all. I'm thinking you eat it. It's got to be ingested or, like you said, washed down. But then how would it get inside your butthole? Because it's definitely you're pulling it out of your beehole.
It's a good point.
Life's
Because we know you don't digest hairs.
You don't digest them, right?
Right. I found them. Have you ever found them wrapped around like your kid's little penis when you change
Yes.
your diaper, your hairs? And I feel so bad
Well,
about
and
that.
I read about that. That's it can cut the circulation off. I know that's like one of the paranoid
Yes.
mom depression things I was doing is like Googling all the weird shit that can happen.
But I feel like we're lucky we didn't have to wipe vaginas. I think that's like much messier.
I agree. Could you imagine all the shit inside of the? Oh, that's good. I like peeners and balls.
Yeah, much
easier.
You see everything.
Yeah. One more. We got one more voicemail about butt hair.
Hey, Mommy, I heard your podcast about getting hairs in and out of your asshole, but I constantly get my wife's hairs in my foreskin and around my balls. It's kind of like coiled up.
That's what you're talking about.
I wanted to see if anybody else had this issue. Keep it high and tight.
Wow, we were just talking about it.
Yeah. It happens to grown men too.
What a bummer.
Major.
I gotta call Tom, or maybe I'll ask Tom if he gets my hairs wrapped around his nuts.
I'll ask Cutter too.
Cutter?
That's his name, my husband's name.
Cutter? That is super crazy.
It's a cool name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Cool. Cutter. So this is off the topic, totally left turn.
Yeah.
I do a little survey here. Still personal, but I feel like we can go there.
Sure.
How many BJs a year, and be fucking honest, are you giving Cutter? And be fucking honest.
4? 5?
That's what I'm saying.
We're not big foreplay people. We're like, we'd much rather get to the sexy time and,
The meat and potatoes. Because
for sure.
You don't
we
have
don't have the time. Or I'm like, dude, it's 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like, you've got maybe 35 minutes, maybe with me before I'm just a corpse.
Yeah.
So
get it in and let's get out and start watching 90 Day Fiancé.
He doesn't seem to mind.
No, he doesn't seem to mind.
It usually happens after a time when I'm like super appreciative of him.
Yeah.
Or I talk to girlfriends and they talk about how many blowjobs they give and I'm like, I should probably give him one.
Yeah. Well, because we don't have such a finite amount of energy at this stage in the game. Like,
that takes so much energy.
It takes so much energy. Well, here's the deal, man. Dr. Drew's wife came in here and she said she gives him 2 to 4 BJs a week. Get your life. Yeah. Huh? Okay. The plot thickens.
That's like, I can't even, like, I'm having a hard time. Like,
are you blacked out yet? Yeah.
I'm completely blacked out.
No, I know. And
isn't she also a psychic?
Yeah, she hangs out. No, she isn't, but she likes to have psychics. She has a podcast where you can call in.
Got it.
Yeah. Now, here's the addendum to that is that 2 to 4 BJs a week. But their kids are grown. They're in their 20s. So
they're
like
not at home.
They're not home, dude.
Still.
She considers a beej the beej that you give them before intercourse.
Oh, not to completion.
Right.
That's still a lot.
I'd still.
Do you agree?
It's so much work.
So much.
Because they don't. But the thing is, can you really call it a beej?
No.
If there's no.
I don't.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
No.
But my husband and the men here are like, it's a dick suck. A dick suck is a dick
really?
suck. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to ejaculate using the mouth.
So maybe mine's like 6.
Yeah, because in that case, it's an appetizer. It's an amuse-bouche.
Okay, all
right. It's fine.
It's just wetting the whistle, whatever.
Yeah, that's not a full beej.
No,
she's taking credit. You know what I mean?
No, that's
it's
not
stolen
fair.
valor. It's stolen blowjob valor.
Misrepresentation.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so here's some more Pajitsky effects coined by your friend Rob Eiler.
Oh.
That is all his wording, and I love it. So here's some ones you guys wrote in from. I came from a very poor and big family in Australia. My parents had 6 kids, meaning money and food were scarce. Our whole lives we ate Weetabix or toast with Vegemite. And recently in my adult life, I realized, holy shit, I can buy Fruit Loops, my favorite. And so I did. Best realization ever. Yeah, right? Like you.
Oh, yeah. That realization when you're like, I could eat. Nobody's telling me what to do. Yes, that's a good one.
It's the best. My mother had a thing about buying expensive fruit. You cannot buy raspberries. This is $4. This is too expensive.
I mean, I'm with her. I still buy it, but it's so fucking. An avocado is like $1.50. It's
I don't give
not
a fuck.
okay.
Fuck you. I'll
Fuck
buy
you.
5.
Give me those Mexican avocados.
You can splurge. Okay, I was really annoyed that our sheets felt so grimy after washing, and then this year I realized that I could use the hot water function on my wash and they would actually get clean. Growing up as a latchkey kid to a single mom, I was trained to save on utilities that I completely blocked out the hot water cycle as possibility. Love you, Jeans Liz. I don't even think I use the hot water cycle. What's
no,
that
I
for?
think I'm throwing too many things in at once that are all different colors that I never can.
Wait, see, I'm not even sure I know what the hot water cycle versus cold water is for.
Whites.
Wait, what?
Just whites.
For hot water.
I remember because when I first learned to do laundry, it was like whites warm, like both W. That was like my mnemonic device to know that. So if you are all lights or whites, you can do warm water.
I feel like you're being a little racist.
Am
when
I?
you're talking about you're being a little insensitive to the colored. Yeah, I think it's funny. All I learned was to separate the colors,
lights and darks.
Yeah, no one told me.
I don't even do that. It's cold.
All your shirts are pink. Your white shirts are pink.
It's fine.
Okay.
Tie-dyes in.
This is so funny. I didn't even know that. See, I'm so glad somebody. Oh my god.
And don't wash your sheets with towels, because that will make them rough.
Oh, what? Okay.
Don't always wash your towels with towels.
Okay.
Don't mix your towels with your clothes and your sheets, because that will make them like
rough.
You know that, like pilling type.
Yes.
Stuff. Yeah.
Yes. Got you. Okay. Towels only with towels.
Mm-hmm.
And
my husband taught me that.
Mom hacks.
I was like, what's this?
That's a good one. You know what I want to do? drink all the time, especially lately. I'm home all day with kids, but I don't want the hangover. I don't want to feel like crap the next day, which is why I love Kin. This is a very exciting new drink. This is actually a very mom-friendly product because you're not going to feel hungover. You're not going to ingest all the calories and the sugar. This is the healthy form of stress relief, I guess you would say. It's a euphoric drink, so you feel better because of the healthy stuff that's in here without any of the byproducts. It improves things like brain function, hormone harmony, great sex, de-stressing after an insane day. It's chock full of the good stuff and none of the bad. Think adaptogenic herbs and mushrooms, plants that help curb stress in the moment and over time, nootropics, brain vitamins that support cognitive function and clarity and memory. I'll tell you something, I've been drinking it just a little bit before. I do feel better. Why? I feel good. With our mood-defining blends, we focus on a feeling in the moment versus a flavor of the month. So this one's Kin Spritz, our pre-mixed sparkler for easy, guilt-free day drinking and no-fuss bliss on-the-run adventures. She's definitely the most popular amongst moms, and I can see why. Ooh, I like this Kin. Do you want to try it for yourself? Go to kineuphorics.com and use discount code Christina P at checkout to get 15% off for the next 30 days. Kin Euphorics, bliss up your cup. I like it. Okay, here we go. I've been wearing glasses or contacts my whole life. I don't need to wear them when I'm just chilling at home, but I do need them if I want to watch TV, use my computer, drive, or read. I had one pair of glasses that I used and always thought it was so annoying to have to haul my pregnant ass up the stairs to grab them from the office when I wanted to watch TV in the living room. I was complaining about this to a friend who asked me, why don't you just buy another pair of glasses? That was my epiphany moment. I know. Because I have these and then I've got one in my home office. You have to do multiples. You have to do multiples. Yeah. So you knew that one. You did that one.
I'm trying to think what I have multiples of in my house. I'll keep thinking.
I do multiples of everything. And I also buy in advance so that I don't even have to feel the loss of not having the thing. Nothing makes me more angry than there's no fucking toilet paper.
Oh.
What are you talking about? I live in America, Jack.
Yep.
I do Amazon. I get 50 fucking rolls at a time.
Yep.
I'm never out of anything.
Nope.
Toothpaste, I got 6 boxes under
I have
the
a
sink.
garage.
Yeah.
Like I have a garage now. That shit's full. You know what we got in quarantine was a garage fridge.
Wow.
Yep. We really leveled up.
What are you keeping in there?
It's a shit ton of meat and frozen pizzas and drinks.
Smart.
Like
Backup
beer
shit.
for him and White Claw for him and like LaCroix and juice boxes for the kids, stuff like that.
Smart.
Yeah.
So then you have like what's the word I'm looking for?
Restock?
No, yeah, like a
Reserve?
Reserve. That's the word
Yes.
I'm looking for.
Yes.
That's
Well, you know when everyone
awesome.
was panic buying in the
Yeah,
beginning.
I did.
Oh,
I saw that shit
Omaha. I was like, I have so many slow cooker meals. It's insane.
Slow cooker.
Yeah.
I like a slow cooker.
Oh, me too.
Have you heard of the air fryer?
I have. It's just I don't know if it's a purchase that's worth it for my counter space.
It's a lot of space. Is that what you're saying? I didn't know that.
It's another thing.
Yeah.
It's another thing.
Yeah, I know.
You know.
I'm contemplating a sous vide, but I'm not sure I'm ready for that. Yeah.
Is that English?
Let me show you. Sous vide.
sounds fancy.
S-U, I think V-E-E. It water cooks your food items over time. Is that how you fucking say that? A sous vide?
Yeah, sous vide.
How did you know that? And I didn't know
It looks
that.
like it's made
'Cause
for
I'm
a
really into cooking
restaurant.
steak.
That's how you cook your steak.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't have one, but I've definitely looked into it. There's it's almost like you boil your steak to the right temperature, and then you just give it an outside sear in a cast iron or something.
Shit looks dope, right?
Wow.
Man, bro.
I just got my husband a Traeger grill. Have you heard those? Where like literally you put it in and you put what it is and it will make it for you.
I like that.
And you put the flavor pellets that you want.
Flavor pellets.
So like it'll have the certain smoky.
That sounds amazing.
It was a
See,
good gift.
that's like the Jetsons. That's what the
Yes.
Jetsons promised me.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for that. I'm still waiting for my Rosie and my like walkway where I don't have to walk anywhere. My favorite was Judy she would get showered and ready by a machine. Think about your life. We'll smell so nice, have so much lotion and be completely shaved legs.
So great. I actually start I'll go through a phase where as I'm brushing my wet hair angrily, I will be like, enough grooming. I can't groom myself anymore. Like I've done the makeup, I've dressed myself. And I
brushing
get
your hair,
angry.
that's some time.
Yeah.
Everything has gotten down to like 60 seconds for me.
Oh, that's so smart. What's your secret?
My
Give me a
60-second makeup is...
You look adorable.
I mix moisturizer.
Yep.
And a little bit of foundation. That's done.
Good.
And then I'd never do my hair.
It looks cool, but you're one of those girls that like, yeah, but you're like effortlessly, you're perfect. So you can walk out of the house and you're perfect.
No.
You're cute.
I've gotten confident in not giving a fuck, and I think that's the vibe.
That's good. I like that.
And you're just comfortable with it because it makes you feel relaxed, because that's what I am, I guess.
You look perfect. I love you. Okay, here's another one. A new revelation has occurred in our home. For 4 years, I have watched my boyfriend water the plants in the front yard with the garden hose, and then when he's finished, he unscrews the hose, drags it around to the backyard, hooks up the hose, and waters the plants in the backyard. Every week, the same barbaric routine. Maybe subconsciously, we both thought it was too bougie to own two hoses. Until the magical day came, we made the trip to Home Depot and bought a hose for the backyard just last week. What a life-changing purchase. Try it out. 2 hoses.
2 hoses. 2 hoses. Well, that makes we did something like that where we got the thing that wheels up your hose, and that made a big difference.
That's
it was
luxury.
always out. Oh, it's fancy.
What are you talking about? Wheel. That's brilliant.
Like
I know.
It's plastic, you know.
Oh God, I could get one of those too.
you
Because right
should.
now it's just on the floor.
Yes, and it's always in the trip. Yeah, totally. The dog's like shitting on it. Yeah.
Totally. The dog always shits on the hose.
My dog.
Motherfucker. Oh, I'm a year out of college and have found that adult life is full of Pajitsky effects. The biggest umbrella of Pajitsky effects I have found myself exploring are items in my apartment and car. So many times I found myself forgetting my charger for my car or my chapstick and being doomed to having... I've done this so many times. Doomed to having chapped lips for a full winter day. Oh my God, I totally used to do
the
that.
horror. You're just constantly licking them, hoping that somehow they'll be moisturized. And you're just making it worse. So worse.
You're making it worse.
So much worse. And then you put lipstick and it's really dry. Nothing's covering that shit up.
Nothing. It's such misery.
Ooh.
It's the ultimate. But now carrying a car charger and a car chapstick has changed my As a teacher, I've done the same with my classroom, and trust me, it has been such a game changer to have my own lotion, chapstick, etc. in my desk, so I don't have to physically run to my car between periods to grab some. It's been great. Love Louise.
Smart.
There was one point where I would sweat so much doing stand-up, like back in the early days, that I would have car deodorant and I would just leave it like in the side pocket and just, I go from my day job, go get in front of the Laugh Factory or whatever and then run up. But I'm like, oh man, that only took like 5 years of just
to figure out.
Yeah. Or just even keeping snack bars in the console so that you're not deliriously hungry and freaked out all the time.
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
I think becoming a mom and you like anticipate your kids' needs, you start to realize like, oh, I could do this for me too.
I know.
I can make sure I have a snack. That's important too.
I know.
I have water.
I know. I'm so neglectful to myself, and I'll take care of my kids so much better.
Oh,
this one was great. Long time listener. Good. Thank you. Okay. I had my own Pajitsky effect when I was 25. All my life growing up, we always just used whatever pillows were around in the linen closet, off couches.
Linen closet. Linen closet.
Who's got one of those? Fancy feast. Yeah. Or simply my parents' old pillows. My sister and I would acquire them and use them. They were disgusting and uncomfortable, and I would just deal with them. It wasn't until I was in my second apartment after leaving home, still using those old pillows and dating my husband, the epiphany happened. He made me realize, after commenting on how god-awfully uncomfortable my pillows were, that you can buy pillows. I felt like an idiot. Went out and bought some fresh. How have you done? I've done that too.
Oh, yeah. Pillows will come with me from move to move to move. Yes. Towels, pillows.
And like, you know, when you move out of your parents' house and they give you that shit and then you
Yes.
just have it for like the next few years.
Because you just assume that's yours.
That's your
Like,
shit.
It's just your shit.
Yeah.
It also feels like home. You know, it's
It
still scary to leave
does.
home first.
My mother was so big on keeping things forever. So she kept our couch. Like we slept. Remember back in the 80s, you had a couch that was made out of like velour, those velour couches
Sure,
with
yeah.
like different. Oh my God. So she preserved this couch for me. She put the sheet on the couch. So when we lay on it, we don't lay directly on the couch. You have to save the couch because when you go to college, this is your couch.
And then you'll be able to take the sheet off.
No,
It's like exactly
never.
when you should never take the sheet off.
You never take
Never.
it.
Right,
Never.
like the plastic on the furniture.
She did
When
that
is
too.
it coming off?
It never comes
Never.
off because you want to save it forever. Now, did you guys do that? Or the Cuban
We
moms
didn't
do
have
that?
no. Our house was always very clean.
Yeah, same.
We had like one living room that you just didn't go in.
Yes, we had that too.
Like, when is this for?
That's such a foreigner. Maybe that's a foreigner thing. Like you have the room that you want people to believe this is how you live.
Yes, right. Like just stay here. Don't come past
So
here.
Tom and I lived in a house where we did that. We had the house that we rented a house, and we were like, this is the room when you first come in the front door to the left. There's a
it's
sitting
always
room.
right there.
Yeah.
It's always right when you walk in. Totally.
And we did that. We bought the nice couches and the things, and we never enjoyed the room. And so when we got this house that we're in now, I'm like, I'm never doing that again.
No.
Why would I live and have something I'm not using? So we put the playroom now. It's the first fucking thing you
smart.
see. Like,
So smart.
Hey, guess what? I have kids. You don't like it? Get the fuck out of here.
There you go.
The whole house is
There
ours.
you go. You're setting the tone
Yeah.
right away when they walk in. I like it. I like
Fuck
it.
you. Don't,
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, well, how sad. They, yeah. Anyway, okay. Are you bored? Is it okay with you? Are you into this?
Yes.
Okay. The moment I realized I didn't have to cut apples into little triangles. I always found it painstaking to cut apples that way, but still did it. No idea why. Now I just slice them into rounds or cut them up into irregular chunks. I felt like an epiphany in that moment. Have a great week, Jazzy. Right, like so she was doing the regimented kindergarten slicings.
Right.
You know, when they give it to you in those
Yes.
little...
It's funny. It made me think every morning I slice one half of an apple for my older one, and then the other side I have to peel.
Yes,
because the
the
baby,
baby.
like can't handle skin on anything.
Yeah.
And chop it up for him.
Yes, you have to make. Well, that's another thing when you have multiple kids is that they don't all like the same shit. So my older boy likes red sauce, the other one for or
Same.
whatever. You know,
Vice versa.
Yeah. So you're a chef and you're making 5
Short order
custom
cook.
order.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's see. This is another glasses one. Oh, that's it. Do we have any voicemail ones? These make me laugh. I love this shit so much.
Hi, mommies. My name is Sarah, and I have a Pajitsky effect that feels so luxurious. It's borderline naughty in a kid-safe way. When I am in the car driving, and it's a day that is right on the border of using the air conditioning or not, I roll down my window, and I put the air conditioning on my feet. And I feel so terrible, but great doing it. Because that was not allowed growing up. It wastes money. I think it wastes gas. Too much. Choose one or the other. But I feel like I'm 40. It's my car.
Yeah.
I am going to do both if I want to.
Live.
And I feel a little bit bad, but not enough to stop.
Nah.
Love that Pajitsky effect. Keep it high and tight.
Thanks, Jeans. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
it's
a
your
big one.
gas money.
Yeah, who gives
You
a shit?
Fucking make your cold toes happen.
The most luxurious thing I ever did. You ever drive a convertible in LA and it's cold?
Not in LA.
Okay. Well, my favorite thing to do, we used to have a convertible. It's cold outside. Open the fucking thing up and let the heat blast. Now that is
Like, do you have a seat heater too?
wasteful. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
dreamy.
Gives a shit, man. I'm living my
Yes.
best life, homie.
I fucking love a convertible.
Do you have one now?
No, I have like a big mommy car because
I know.
my son
same.
plays hockey. I need like the trunk space and all that kind of stuff.
Off. I think we should. It's hard now because we were debating getting a minivan, like an
Yeah.
actual shitty.
Yeah.
Because they kind of were rad.
I think they're kind of cool.
Yeah.
But my husband's maybe it's because he's still so young. He's like, I don't want you in a
But
minivan.
some of them were really decked out. like
the
mini
the Pacifica or whatever.
Google Pacifica. Let's see.
It has like TVs and a vacuum built in and like a. God, I wish they were paying me to say all this.
I know. I mean, it's not like you're not fucking cool anyways.
Yeah,
It's
I've
like-
got nothing to prove anymore. It's me. This is who I am.
Is that what
They make a mess out of everything.
But I'm
I do have
talking-
the captain seats though.
I have those too.
which
Those
is
are good
nice. Yeah,
because it keeps the kids apart from
Correct.
hitting each other
Oh.
and fucking with each other.
And no one's ever coming in my car.
Nah.
No one's riding with me anywhere.
Disaster. You know what I'm talking about? Ooh,
Yeah, look at those.
shit.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's like a full 3-row situation.
Hell yeah. But I'm talking like those old school. I want to say like a fucking what is that? Like a mini.
Like a VW?
Yeah, like a
What, creeper? Like a creeper
yeah,
van?
yeah. I want to be able to sleep in it, cook in it.
Okay, like a surfer van.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I kind of want an old VW, but
There it
that's
is.
dope.
There she is.
There she is. You got a
Oh,
table.
what the- Indoor dining.
That's what I'm saying, bros. Like your kids could really rat out there. Oh,
I mean, your kids
dude.
would love it.
Look at that.
That's nice.
That's what I want. That Pinterest.
A
God,
hippie
Pinterest
van
ruins
is
my
back and
life.
it's electric.
That's what I want. Oh my God, I'm showing Tom this. Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
See how
So
fun?
cute. Oh my God, I'd love to see you driving down the street.
Dude,
what
I
color
s-
would you get?
Crazy green. I would go
green?
crazy. I like how I love surfer stuff. I love
Yeah.
California.
Oh,
I'm very
yeah.
California
Yeah.
girl. Oh, I love it.
That's really cool.
Did you notice I wore this for you? This
For
is my
me?
Sopranos homage.
Is
Did
it?
you guys you wore 3-stripe shit, right?
I
On the
did
show,
it.
not you.
But yeah, the
your
guys,
dad.
of course.
I
Yeah.
mean, the actor that was James.
I
Cameron.
just got it. I just am up to the 4th season now.
So so this is
still
interesting.
watching it.
And how do you feel? How does it feel watching yourself?
I mean, it's nice because I'm actually enjoying it as like I'm enjoying the show as an audience member. Like I love the show. I mean, I'm appreciating beyond what I already had an appreciation for. Like it's just so much bigger
Yeah.
for what I got to be a part of and everything. And I'm remembering. I'm like, oh my God, I remember
You remember
filming that
shooting
scene.
that,
Like,
or-
yeah, it's been really fun to watch.
Have you seen this scene yet? I'm not going to say what happens. Christopher the dog.
Oh, not yet. I
Okay,
haven't gotten
okay,
to that one
just
yet.
wait.
I know what you're saying, though.
You
I do remember.
do.
I mean, I remember the read through of it.
That was
and being
good.
horrified about it.
So
yeah.
that scene to this day at our house, if you almost sit on a dog, we say
say
you almost Christophered Bitsy. You almost Christophered the kids. You almost Christophered me.
He's so good. In
Oh
that
my
show.
God.
Oh, he's so good.
Do you keep in touch? I mean, I
We
sound like a
do.
fucking such a douchebag.
I actually texted Edie the other day because she was my age that I am now when we were filming the show.
Crazy.
And I was just like, I was like, I love you, and I've always thought the world of you, but now I'm like a grown person and I'm watching you, and you're just the shit. Like you're just the greatest. And she was so sweet when she wrote back. She said it's too painful for her to watch.
Really?
Yeah, it's like she tried last summer and it was like it was just too much.
Yeah, I imagine.
I
when
get
you-
it for
yeah.
sure. There's moments where it's like it's emotional for sure, but at the same time I really I'm in it now.
Yeah.
I'm in season 4. I got to finish it.
It is weird because I've watched shows that I've been on,
Yeah.
and then you're like, I remember it, but you have like a meta experience
Totally.
because you're like, oh, I'm in that, and then
Yeah.
I'm like,
I know.
huh? This is
I know.
super weird.
It's very weird what we do.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish you had a different. I almost want you to not be on that show so that you can have the exact same emotional experience we all had. Do you know what I mean? So you
totally.
could appreciate. How do you feel about Tony's mom? Do you connect to that mom storyline at all? You know what a monster his mother is?
Yeah, no.
Oh, so your mom wasn't that crazy?
No.
Oh, okay, mine was. Because I was
Really?
like, I think that's why I related to his character. Because I was like, yeah, my mom was that crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, no. My mom had moments that stuck out, but was not, didn't make me feel like a terrible human.
Oh,
by
yeah.
any means.
Great. Okay. Gabagool. Let's do one. What Christina P do, and then I'll let you go back to your kids and your mom.
Well, actually, I'm going to see Rob after that. We have our pajama pants.
Oh, that's
day on
right. So
Thursdays.
yes, plug your shit, man.
Yeah,
Pajama
we have
pants.
a podcast called Pajama Pants with Rob Eiler and our friend Kassam. And then I have another podcast called MomsAt.
I want to do it.
You have
Can
to
I
come
do
on
it?
MomsAt, please.
I would love to. Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
We're
dude.
just doing on Zoom now because we've got nowhere to do it. But yes, please.
I would love to.
Yeah.
I would love to. I love you. I think you're
I
wonderful.
love you too.
Okay.
You
I
got
forgot I have
mom
a
questions? CP's got mom answers. What would Christina P do?
Okay. I'm a 30-year-old guy. I enjoy candy. It's my thing. I buy bulk obscure candies that I like because buying in bulk is easier when stuff gets shipped from far away. But my girl and the nieces and nephews assume I'm buying it for them, and I am definitely not. I'm a responsible snacker and I like to have a little candy maybe once a day. I would share, but they act like fat asses and shovel my expensive candies down their fucking face. How do I stash my snacks? Joel.
Hide it.
Hide it, right?
Hide it. I have so much candy in my nightstand. Maybe that's my that I have it so I don't have to get up to go to the kitchen.
Smart.
When I'm stoned at night.
Smart.
It's so much candy in my night. If my kids ever opened it, my God.
Yeah, I was
They'd
going to
be
say,
like,
how do you keep them out of there?
Liar.
Mine was
They don't
eating
know.
Advil. My 2-year-old.
They assume it's
kinda-
like, hand lotion, what normal people keep in their night. Don't know. Every movie or television show, every woman is always putting.
Yeah.
Who does that?
I don't fucking do it, obviously.
Have you ever put hand lotion on before bed? Is that a thing? I was always like, am I not a lady?
I'm not a lady. I'm definitely
Clearly.
not. Or when they used to brush their hair before bed. In movies, always, they were like, la 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 la. Sybil Shepherd was always brushing her hair.
I don't think I ever brush my hair. It's probably why I lose so much in the shower and it's in my butt.
What kind of candy are you into when you're stoned?
I like me some chocolate.
Yeah.
And then I'm like a gummy girl.
Gummies. Really? I heard that the sugar-free Haribo gives you diarrhea. Have you heard this?
Oh, I don't fuck with sugar-free.
No.
I
Good for
did
you.
once and it was like my stomach was like distended and I gasped for like days.
That's
painful gas.
That's what I hear.
Oh, that shit. No. They have there's this brand called Yum Earth because I buy my kids their gummies and stuff. Their stuff's pretty decent if you want to go like lower sugar.
Okay.
Or chocolate-wise, Unreal. They make the Unreal peanut butter cups. Those are pretty good.
I love peanut butter cups. That's my weakness.
Yeah. My littlest too. He has a lisp and he's a refith. I want a refith.
It's so cute when they talk. I love when they
he has
talk
a
in
huge
little.
lisp.
Yeah, so does mine.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's because the passy.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I went to the dentist with him and she's like, it's fine. They'll drop it between 3 and 4. She goes,
really?
Yeah. She's like, don't rush it. She goes,
Yeah,
braces
'cause
are
I'm
cheaper
like-
than therapy. Don't fucking
Right.
make him stop.
Yeah, because when he loses his shit, I'm like,
Yeah. Just fucking do it.
Yep.
He needs braces anyways.
still a baby.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Great. That
Thank
makes me feel
you
better.
so much for coming. I
Thank
love
you
you
for
so
having me.
much.
I love you.
Will you
I'm
come
so-
back?
Anytime you want. You're so close. I'm like 15 minutes from my house.
Oh, that's the best. Oh, gosh. God.
I love a reason to leave my house, too.
Anytime.
Give me a reason.
All right. So, Pajama Pants podcast and Mama Says podcast. Where can people find you?
Jamie-Lynn Sigler on Instagram. I never go on Twitter, but if you want to find me, I think it's Jamie L. Sigler because
fucking
my
hate
name was
Twitter.
too long, apparently, for that.
Oh, it's super lame.
Then again, my name.
Can I tell you
Jamie-Lynn.
why I like you even more?
Why?
Because there was this thing going around that's like, I nominate this beautiful, empowered woman to do this. And like, I read the pitch and I was like, wait, I don't understand. Like, I'm supposed to put a picture of myself just to say that I'm empowering other people. I just didn't understand the pitch. And then you put your thing up. You're like, I appreciate people doing this, but here's the real story. And I'm like, oh.
Well, my friend from high school who like I vouch, like she's researches shit and like she's, you know, she's somebody I would like trust anything she put in. She posted this thing about what the real source of it was.
Oh.
And in Turkey, they were posting black and white pictures of women that were being killed.
Oy.
So that was like originally what the chain was meant to. But, you know, I really try to stay away from like anything political on
Dude, me
Instagram because
too.
I can't handle the fucking back and forth after. It's like, and my husband, anytime I do anything, my husband will text me. He's like, "Take it down, stop it, Jamie, take it down," because I get too much. Like, I want to fucking going back and forth. Like, I don't know how. I give so much power to people that are like really, you know, activists.
Yeah.
I like dip my toe every once in a while, but I can't.
I can't do it. I can't do the energy of it. And look, I like posting videos of people putting feet in spaghetti from TikTok.
There we go.
Like that's my contribution to the world.
And it is a contribution.
Yeah.
It is.
I can't. Anyways, I appreciate you doing that because I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, I'm not sure what the argument was there. And I like that you didn't post a picture of yourself for no fucking reason. I love you. Okay, until next time, stay cool, moms. Oh, and YMH Live, we're selling so many tickets. That one's coming up. It's in my Instagram and blah, blah, blah. If you want to watch us live, we're going to be uncensored because I don't know if you know this, but YouTube censors our content, so we're constantly blurring stuff. It's super annoying. And Top Dog is going to make an appearance. Finally, you will get to see what Top Dog looks like. It's going to be a worldwide, fantastic event. And yeah, that's it. Okay, bye. I love you. Bye.
Where my mom's at. Where my mom's wearing thongs, hitting bongs at. Raising kids, cleaning shits, need a long nap. Where my mom's